Right now, this next section, it is a bit of my testimony from being a kid when my hobby was stargazing and being creative and artistic and doing all kinds of artistic artwork, and that was just my thing. I wasn't a very athletic kid. I still am not very athletic, but I lived in my mind. I imagined what the universe was like, and so I'm coming down here, and um, this is about being on End Times Watch. So it is important for church itself to be on Bible End Times Watch. Jesus said, "Watch and pray to be accounted worthy to escape all these things" in Luke 21:36. When I was a young boy, I had three main hobbies. I played with the same giant tub of, uh, okay, I'll just, trademarked Legos I had from the time I was 6, and I still play with Legos with my 9-year-old son. Around the same time, I let my imagination use Legos to create all the toys I would play with, and my other thing was I stared at the night sky, and I'd gaze all night long, um, and I would draw. That was my main way of getting my imagination going, was drawing what I was thinking of, what I wanted to play with, and what I wanted to do. And it's just big, still with my family, for my kids and I to do that together. My parents both worked hard to provide and take care of my needs, but that didn't equate to getting the latest toys from the toy store. But I always had my trusty Legos. Lego became my means to make those things for which I wanted to play. One night I learned the difference between playing with toys and playing with the details of heaven found in Revelation. One is okay to do and the other is not. At that time, my imagination was my biggest toy, like I said. It opened up worlds. It still is my biggest toy. And I said, I remember being 6 years old in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. My parents shared a family cleaning business with my grandparents, while my dad worked at a car parts manufacturer in the quality control department. And many nights he would work late. We would have to wait for the weekend to spend time together. Soccer in the backyard was our favorite sport and pastime. One night, I'm glad that he worked late, but I wasn't up late stargazing or drawing, or even through my imagination was getting the best of me. After that time, I started to link stargazing with Bible End Times Watch. This is just my personal testimony. I had a series of weird, scary occurrences that night. I had come down with a 101-degree fever that was only getting more and more hot as I fell prey to tossing and turning, hearing things and weird hallucinations. And at the time it was 1986, and there was crazy stuff on TV. Just getting in closer here. That is Annie Lennox. That's from the Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams. And, just that song is just filled with Illuminati symbolism. She pounds 3 times on wood. She knocks on wood to summon demons. You'll see it there. She does a hand signal showing, kind of like the gun up in the air. But in the occult, you signal to others how much power you have through occult practices, like demonic power, between your thumb and your pointer finger. And you see them doing transcendental meditation, and you see the Illuminati eye throughout the video. You see people being kind of like considered cattle because there's a cow that they're singing around. It's just kind of crazy. Okay. And Prince was talking about the end of the world at 1999. Let's see. If I had bad dreams or anything, okay. So all this made that vibrant imagination take me away to an apocalyptic place in my dreams that was very weird indeed. So I would sing, the "I Love You, Lord, and I Lift My Voice to Worship You" song, and it would bring me back to the comfort of my faith. I felt that awe and amazing consuming fire that is God. And, Hebrews 12:28, that we receive a kingdom which cannot be moved. Let us have grace whereby we may serve God acceptably with reverence and godly fear. For our God is a consuming fire. I think we get a buddy mentality with God, and in some aspect, He is um, our lover of our soul, and we need to have a relationship with Him. But we should never take Him for granted as kind of like just a buddy. We need to have a healthy fear of the Lord. That's the beginning of wisdom. Now, can I just say that when I see just some of the shenanigans that goes on in the Christian church, how we fight each other, we have more of like an ego pride than a fear of the Lord, and just loving each other as Jesus told us to do in John 13:35. So, I mean, just let that sit in our hearts, that we need to have a John 13:35 love for one another, in patience and kindness and gentleness and listening, but also not being afraid to share what has been impressed upon us from the scriptures, and share the scriptures together. I would rather fight and debate than follow the Lord. So I'm just going on talking about my growing fever, and hearing my grandmother speak with someone from the church about the cherubim angels and the seraphim that surround the throne of God, and they talked about Ezekiel's encounter at the river Kaibar, that these cherubim angels that were surrounding the throne of God had 4 different faces: an eagle, an ox, a man's, and a lion's face. They had 6 wings, and the wings were covered in eyes, and the wings were merged together, and they went every which direction all at the same time. It was just blew my mind, and it was the kind of stuff that I really loved getting into. But I mean, this plagued my dream kind of. They talked about Jesus wearing his priestly garb, fulfilling Isaiah 11, and Hebrews 7, in the order of Melchizedek forever. Having the government on his shoulders of the 12 precious stones of the ephod. Talked about Lucifer in Ezekiel 28 having only 9 of the precious stones, and these visions of heaven were really intense for me, and I had a dream that I was at the throne of God like Isaiah, and I pronounced, "Oh, woe is me," and Jesus came and just told me that he loves me and I don't have to worry, that he covers me with his blood. And my father woke me up, and that just has always stuck with me, and I was so glad that he was there for me, my father in heaven and my father on earth.